you find someone who is stealing nuts and bolts from a train track. You put them in you put them in a university. They graduate. They're not gonna steal nuts and bolts. They're gonna steal the entire train track. You cannot change their character. You can just help them become better in what they're doing.
Again, we're going back to your time, your personal time management, and obviously you cannot do everything.
Oh, yeah.
By that I mean, I'm sure you had to let go of
Yeah.
data,
Yes.
of other things.
Yes.
What were some things that you have to be a husband, you have to be a boss, a worker, and so on. Maybe you have to attend church, your D group. There are things that we all have to make. We all have to choose our sacrifice. What were some things that you had to let go of?
One of the things that I definitely had to let go of was my time playing computer games. That was a clear addiction. I would go so far as to say addiction kasi it was a struggle for me to just stop. So how I managed to control that is I would delete the game. The kind of games I'm addicted to is the MOBA type.
Yeah.
And it's the PC MOBA kasi meron ng sa phone. Doon sa phone, di talaga ako na-addict. Kasi ang liit eh. For me, it's just not my
ibang PC
style.
eh, diba?
Oo, iba ang PC. So, I would delete the game. And if I really want to play, because it's gonna take like an hour or two to download it again and install it. Kumbaga may hassle. James Clear, who wrote the book Atomic Habits, I haven't read it yet, but I listened to his podcast. He says, we don't rise to the level of our goals, we fall to the level of our systems. I had to create a system which will enable me to keep my addiction at bay. And for me, that's uninstalling the software. He even goes so far as to say nga na, if you're struggling with, binge watching on Netflix, then either delete the Netflix or make sure your TV is not in your bedroom, put it outside or put it in the cabinet, and whenever you want to watch it, take it out of the cabinet. And that means you really want to watch it.
To
diba?
make it a pain to
Yes.
relapse. and go back.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So my way is to delete the game because I cannot get rid of my computer. It's part of my business, and I'm writing my second book there as well. So some of the other things that I did, so that's distraction. So the 4 quadrants of time management is not important, not urgent. That's definitely on that quadrant. Some of the things that are urgent but not important, though actually a lot of those things I delegate. For me, what's important is you have other people helping you out. So this is why we've grown to 50 plus people in the company. It's because we want to delegate the things that we can delegate so that we are making decisions closer to the commas, not to the decimal point. And for us, if we have more people making bigger decisions closer to the commas of, 10,000, 100,000, 1 million, that would make for a much bigger and much better company with bigger and better growth. So we want to focus our leaders there. I want to focus there. And if you want to focus your leaders and yourself there, ano mangyayari dun sa decisions na are smaller but needs to get decided on, the decisions closer to the decimal point? Because with my example earlier, if you're flipping burgers to put it in the hamburger bun, there are people who are hungry. And McDonald's and Jollibee is solving a hunger problem. They are. It is something that's important, but the decision still has to be made. Unfortunately, it's closer to the decimal point. If you're the business owner, you want people moving closer to the commas. I delegated a lot. I used to do the legal stuff, the HR stuff, the accounting, checking the SLA every day, which is checking the rankings of our clients. Are they in the first page already? I used to do the website project management. Is this site done? Where is it on this stage? How come we're getting problems there? I used to do the accounts management, which is dealing with the clients, going to them, talking with them every day, sending them the reports, creating the reports, which took a lot of time. I used to be the one doing the contracts and the proposals, which again took a lot of time. All of these things I delegated already. So what am I doing with my time now? This year, my thematic goal is to raise up more leaders. Last year was actually to make sure that the sales team is intact. So the sales team has started. I'm not the one running gun now on sales. It's someone else, and she's doing a fantastic job. I have been able to take a step back. Yes, I'm still doing sales from time to time because there are people in my circle of network that I cannot just tell her to take it because these are my friends, colleagues, or people who know me personally. They want to deal with me. The deal will get done quicker, a lot quicker, and a lot better if I'm the one dealing with these people. So I just choose the things that I need to do and the things that need to get done by me, because not everything needs to get done by you. There are things that can be done by someone else. So choose only the things that you can do. Don't choose everything. So how do you do that? You discern, and then you ask other people, maybe mentors. Like, this is a mentorship session already. You ask people, what can I delegate? And you'll realize from their lives and how they do it that, oh, I can delegate that. Legal, I can delegate that. Really? Accounting, I can delegate that. Payroll, I can delegate. All of these things you realize along the way, and then you experiment, you test, and then you delegate to people you trust. And how you delegate is by going with them. It's like driving a car and giving the keys to a brand new Porsche or Ferrari to someone. You're not going to give the keys to them without checking first if they can get from point A to point B and back without a dent or scratch. You're going to be riding with them for days, weeks, and months on end to see, can they drive well? So that when the time comes when you're going to give the keys to them, you're not nervous. In fact, you're happy that they don't need to bring you along the ride anymore. And you trust them 100%. But you still did the work of mentoring them, guiding them, coaching them. And the opposite is the two extremes. Number one is the micromanager, where you are on the passenger seat, checking them drive, telling them how to drive, maybe even moving the clutch and the wheel yourself, which is dangerous, by the way. And they're going to be hating you for it. Don't do that. The other extreme is just giving them the keys and expecting them to be in a wreck, or just expecting them to hurt themselves or hurt the car and paying for it. Don't do either. You have to be in the middle, balance things out, ride with them, and then finally, when the time comes, award and hand the keys to them. That's how you delegate well.
So it's part of leadership to know the strengths and weaknesses of your team and knowing what things to delegate. It's not necessarily being best in everything, but it's knowing who's best at what and giving the task to them. Was this something you learned along the way, or something you knew even in the earlier stages?
This is why the hiring process is so important. And all of the exams that we ask them to take during the hiring process, and even when they get regularized, like the Strengths Finder exam, is very important. That is because you are able to see their personality, their competence, and their temperament, and their strengths and weaknesses in all of these things. And how you are able to delegate better is if you know all of these things about that person. Oh, this person is an influential type, madaldal, maingay, very fun to be with, bagay sa sales yan. Oh, this person is the corrective or compliant type, very into details, very OC, always asking how, bagay yan sa programming or sa accounting. Knowing these things, and we know with Strengths Finder, there are tons of strengths that can be discussed. Mine, for example, is self-assurance. If you have someone with high self-assurance, you definitely want that person running gun with one of your departments because they just have an inner compass. They know where to go, what to do, what to say. They know how to cast the vision and what the vision should be, actually. And if you have someone with the command strength, for example, you want to have that person in a managerial role because that person would be able to make sure that his or her voice is heard. I mean, someone with the command strength in their top 5 strengths is someone who can take command of the situation, take control of the situation.
Yeah.
Yes. When they enter the room, you just know that, oh, this person's going to be taking control, taking leadership. You definitely want to have someone like that with that kind of strength in a managerial or department head. And daya, I know, kasi like these are my strengths. I know I should make someone else the example. But yeah, like I was actually quite shocked that my strengths came out that way. But at the same time, I couldn't really say that it's not true. Or maybe because I've been doing it, I've been running the company for a while before I took the Strengths Finder exam. I don't know if that's going to be able to influence it. Maybe if I take it again a couple of years from now, if I am no longer CEO, I'm just, writing and speaking, maybe it's going to be different. I really don't know, but it's just a theory of mine and my brothers na if you take it at X stage of your life or Y stage of your life, it's going to be different. I don't know if that's true. Maybe having Val here will
Well, I
clarify
mean,
that.
people change
Yeah.
in different stages of life, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So maybe.
So that's that for me is how you know to whom to delegate to what. You get to know their personality, how they work, their strengths. You work with them, you see their output. You ask them also what they like to do. Do you enjoy what you're doing? Do you want to move somewhere else laterally in the company, or you want to try something else? Because we are open to having people move from one role or to another. Not really a promotion. It could be a lateral move. That's fine. And we have a process to do that. They first have to learn how to do it, apply it hands-on, do the work hands-on, get some of the work there. And at the same time, they're mentoring someone to take on their current role before they can move.
Was this something you wish you knew back then? I'm talking about delegating.
I would rather know more. I'd rather wish that I knew how to hire better. Because if you don't know how to hire correctly or hire well, this is why the hiring process is so important. Is you cannot delegate well because you don't have anyone to delegate to.
And you can't train people if they're not the right people.
Exactly. If you train them, if you find someone who is stealing nuts and bolts from a train track, you put them in a university, they graduate, they're not gonna steal nuts and bolts, they're gonna steal the entire train track. You cannot change their character. You can just help them become better in what they're doing, improve their skill, their knowledge, and improve their character, but you cannot change their fundamental character. That is the work of the Holy Spirit. We're not the Holy Spirit. So get people in your team that are the right people. Make sure you can work well with them. They fit in your culture. Take time in your hiring process.